for a whole bunch of moral reasons. But the European is the most immoral person on the earth because he constantly kills. He constantly steals. He constantly lies and cheats. But he's still in power. So, but when it comes to black people, black supremacy, we hold them by each and every scripture, psalms, and verse of the Bible of which we have not read. We hold them to each paragraph and sentence of the Bible to condemn them even before they have grown into the power that they are supposed to achieve. But how can you condemn somebody in a strange situation that is finding power and divinity in a situation that was designed to destroy us? Genocide. How can you condemn somebody that's manifesting something great out of a situation that was bent on the destruction of a people, and then you find somebody that's making something great out of that? How do you condemn them? How do you go in the kitchen and ain't no food in the house and somebody finds something to cook and you say, damn it, I hate that. That's a terrible meal. There's no salt in that. Given the condition that a meal was prepared in a place of great famine, there should be great appreciation for what is manifested. That's a fact. Given the odds stacked against us, given the radical shift in the power that we once had and knew, and the condition that we are in today, the most simplest of black accomplishments towards sovereignty and true black nationalism are extraordinary. This is a fact. This is a fact. Because even those simple acts are far few and in between, because the average person has assimilated and complied and bowed down to the European infrastructure. So the simple acts. But the blacks the black divine beings today are met with great criticism and great condemnation immediately as an attempt to destroy them and their image and their credibility. So even with moralistic, black nationalistic, perfectionist philosophy, blacks are constantly made invalidated. You know what I'm saying? Their credibility is constantly stripped. Because this moralistic, perfectionist, idealistic bullshit has become more significant than seeing the divinity of the black man as it is. We have already been disqualified given the situation that we're in by the moralistic, perfectionist philosophy. You got no food, you steal to eat, you're a thief, you done stole from everybody for the last 400 years, you don't have to steal anymore. We're already condemned as thieves. Do you see what I'm saying? Because our situation, out of wanting the great wealth that we once had, we're going to steal from the white man. We're going to steal from whoever. So we've already been condemned as thieves by the conditions that we live in. Did you see what I'm saying? So there is no perfection. The moral perfectionist is by design to continue disqualify us. You got a black man that kills 50 white people for freedom, becomes a great leader of his people, and they say, well, you are a killer. This is the trick they play. He's no great leader, he's a killer. He killed all these white people. How you gonna be a great leader? But they leave out the fact that he grew up surrounded by, completely trapped inside of white oppression, and that his only way out was killing nothing but white people. But they'll go get the Bible. Thou shalt not kill, boy. So we don't understand condition. Forget condition. We're going to hold you to this moralistic, idealistic perfection. I don't care what the condition was. Not realizing the condition of the European today in the world is different from the condition of that of the black person. It's a different condition. Completely different condition. They understand conditions because when they go over to Iraq and blow up mosques in church and kill innocent people, that doesn't accredit the entire army. They just say, oh, that was a condition. But when it comes to black people, they find one gun in your home, you're a terrorist. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're held and condemned by irrational moralistic perfection that is meant to constantly disqualify us being able to be perceived undoubtedly as supreme. It's already rigged up. Do you understand what I'm saying? They put £1 million on you and put some £1 million weights in front of you and say, go ahead, lift it. See, you here, he can't lift that. Nope. And they put 2 10-pounders on theirs, made out of gold, and do 100 repetitions. And keep looking at you over there. Look at that darkie. He can't lift that. He ain't got the strength. But they're not talking about the weight that is on him. So he rig up something and tie it to a tree and pull it up and say he's cheating. Because he rigs it up, ties it to a tree, and tied the 5 white man's necks. Say, look, I got it up. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? So this concept of this moralistic perfection is ridiculous. It's a political strategy of black people to keep pulling themselves down like lobsters in a bucket for capitalistic agendas. It's a witch hunt. That's what it is. Oh, this nigga, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Get your money with me. That's what it is. So, but none of us end up with power. Because until black, true black, is seen as power, we won't have power. We keep saying black power. That's an institution. That's a goal. That's an objective. Black is power. That's a perspective. And that's the perspective that we must obtain. We can stomach a black man as and with power. And the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That's a fact. We can't be mad at it. But, and that takes me into my next concept. I want to talk about black not purely as a skin tone. Because that's not what makes people black particularly. Black is a hue. Human, all people of different brown shades have a hue of black in them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So black is not the complete color, but it's the hue. That's why we are the humans. We have a hue of blackness in us. That means you can see the undertone, right, of black in us. So, I want to talk about black not as a skin color, but as a crystallization. You may find people that don't have the melanin in their skin. But the black crystallized as the Nubian features. It crystallized in the lips, the hips, in the underneath the hair. It crystallized. The black was crystallizing. Do you understand what I'm making? And the more it crystallized, it began to turn into shades in the skin. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It's like a baby crystallizing from a I almost said a tadpole. From the sperm, crystallizing from that sperm to a human being. The crystallization of man in such a way, this being crystallizes into either woman or man through the process. Follow me with this. It crystallizes into humanness. But if it keeps forming and shaping, then that humanness has breasts. Am I correct? So now that human is a woman. Because the life process kept crystallizing. And now it's not just nipples on a chest. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a breast. Humanness continued to crystallize. It was a process. Do you see what I'm saying? This is deep. With the sex organs, it crystallized, it kept forming. The gender. It was a womb. It kept crystallizing. It became what? Phallic. Testicles, right? So I'm talking about the human life process as a crystallization process, where our forms and features and shapes are crystallizing. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So now when I'm talking about black and melanin, I'm talking about melanin is features. It crystallizes in features. Do you see what I'm saying? And the further it crystallizes, it becomes shades. It's like you leave it in the oven longer. It begins to bake. You follow what I'm saying? And crystallize. Being black is just being well done. When that bread rises a little bit, that's the lips. The bread is rising. It's ready. But that bread get a little blacker. Do you understand the point I'm making? Where the crust is harder, tastes better. Y'all know how that pie tastes when you let that crust get browner? It tastes good, don't it? Some people don't like their pie with soft crust. But that don't mean it's not done. So the point that I'm making is that black is a crystallization of dark matter consciousness that manifests itself in hues. And the more the dark consciousness crystallizes, the more you see completely, totally melanated beings. Do you see what I'm saying? But it starts this crystallization process in every aspect of the development of the black man and woman. So I'm going to say now that the true black man and woman is melanin. We are melanin. We are melanin beings. Complete melanin beings. And melanin manifests itself as features. Because melanin is just another way of saying dark matter consciousness. Womb energy. That's deep. So we are shaped out of that and formed out of that. And the dominant formation of it is when our skin tones manifest the deep shades of darkness. That's the dominant expression of it. So the European is not even melanin recessive. He's just something else. The albino is melanin recessive. But he has melanin. The European don't even got no goddamn melanin. I don't care what nobody say. Only melanin he got is some watermelon that he ate the other day in the system. So I'm saying this to make a point. That black is the crystallization of dark matter consciousness of womb energy, which is black dark energy, as a being. The dominant crystallization of those energies manifest themselves as deep dark tones within skins. You can play your piano from the first key to the last key, but they're all tones. The deep tone is bass. The higher tone is like a higher note. But they're all tones of music. So I'm saying they're tones of the crystallization of melanin. But it's all music. It's all the piano. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all the instrument of divinity. Manifesting itself from bass to high notes. But the music isn't embodied even within the keys. Do you see the point I'm making? Themselves. This is heavy. So we do not possess melanin. Because if you take away our melanin, we don't exist anyway. If you take away everything